Good morning, my loves. Good morning. How you doing, sister?
Let's start with love. Let's start with
Good evening, my loves. Hello, Sister Samantha. Don't be afraid. Come on, give me some love. Good evening. Okay. I want to thank you, Samantha, for sharing your kitchen with me today and allowing me to come on here and cook for me and my husband. Thank you. So I just want to let y'all know, when I met Leonard, he told me I was the boo-boo chef of the day. So I wanted to come on here and make sure that y'all understood that I am the master chef, okay? So as a strong, independent black woman, I'm gonna be coming on here and showing y'all how to go ahead and make yourself some delicious and nutritious fried chicken poppers and fried cauliflower with some celery and carrots on the side, okay? So tonight, we're gonna go ahead and get that started, okay? So I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and just follow along with me with what I'm doing here. Okay, so these are the ingredients we'll be using today. We got our organic carrots and our celery, our organic cauliflower. We have salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and ground cumin with some Hidden Valley Ranch. You'll need some chicken breasts or chicken tenders, whichever you prefer. We'll need some flour, some egg, and some oil. Okay? Alright, my love. So you always want to start with clean hands. Let's not have them talking about Monique was on the show cooking without clean hands. That's the last thing we need, is for somebody to come up on here and talk about how I didn't have clean hands. So make sure your hands is clean. We're going to take our chicken breast, okay? And we're going to season it. Now, Daddy loves these seasonings. I already went ahead and showed you guys the seasonings that we're going to be using. So go ahead and just toss them on there. Now, I went ahead and forgot to cut up the chicken first, but that's okay, because we still going to be able to go ahead and cut this chicken up with the seasoning on there. You know why? Because we are innovative black women, okay? So go ahead and take your favorite pair of kitchen scissors and just cut the chicken in bigger chunks. Now we're going to go ahead and just mix the seasonings around. Make sure every part of the chicken is nicely seasoned. You don't want none of the chicken to miss no seasoning. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and just wash our hands so we don't get nothing else all nasty with the chicken sauce. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the cauliflower. Just going to cut the cauliflower off the head so we can get smaller chunks of that. Go ahead and just break it up. We don't need too much. I ain't making a lot of food for too many people out here. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take a separate bowl and just toss the cauliflower in there so we can season that on it as well. Same seasoning. We're not going to use cumin though. We don't need that. Just the garlic powder, the paprika, and the salt and pepper. Now I was telling Leonard, how I wanted to go ahead and boycott this show because I think it's really unfair that every other character has been on here that has received a deal that was appropriate to the amount they should be receiving. But then when I was invited on here, they wanted to go ahead and cheat me out. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm an African-American woman or not. I heard that Oprah got a deal. So I'm not too sure what the issue is here, but I wanted to go ahead and boycott this show. But you know, I said, baby, let me just come on here and go ahead and do my thing and let the people know that this is what I do. So here's the cauliflower with the seasoning on it. We're just going to go ahead and toss that around real quick. Let's go ahead and move that to the side as well. Let's go ahead and move on to the frying portion. We just got this little Tupperware here and some eggs. We're going to go ahead and just crack the eggs into here. Okay, so go ahead and just whisk that around. That's good, okay. So now, baby, we're going to go ahead and take this flour and toss it in this Ziploc bag here. Not too much, because we ain't making too much food. That should be good. Put that on to the side. Let's go ahead and just start with our chicken and the egg, okay? Go ahead and toss the chicken and the egg. Just go ahead and dip them in the egg. Move them around a little bit. Get them all nice and drenched in there. And then we're going to move them over to this bag of flour we got, okay, baby? And shake them up. You want them nice and coated with the flour. And just repeat that step with the rest of the chicken, okay? Alright, now that that's nice and coated, let's go ahead and move on to the oil. Alright, baby, so we're just using a small saucepan today. And I'm going to go ahead and just pour some oil in there. Now, Samantha ain't got a deep fryer on here, and that's okay. Because she's still coming up in the world. And you know, one day she's going to have herself a deep fryer. But until then, we're going to use what we have. Because a strong, independent black woman, that's what we do. We use what we have. We're resourceful, okay? That's why we need credit when it's due, okay? And then just fill the pot up with some oil, and we're going to turn that on and let that get hot. Now our oil is nice and hot. Let's go ahead and start dropping the chicken right into that pot. You only want to do a few at a time since this ain't too big of a pot. We don't want to overcrowd it. So the chicken moves quick. You want to make sure to keep an eye on it at all times. You don't want to burn up the chicken. So once it starts looking a little brown on one side, we're going to go ahead and flip it so the other side can get brown as well. You're going to want to go ahead and flip it a couple times so that we can make sure it's brown on all the sides without getting burnt. Once it starts getting golden brown, that's when you know it's ready to take that chicken on out. You don't want to keep your heat too high or your chicken's going to burn up but still be uncooked in the middle. So just keep it on a medium-high heat so that we can get it nice and crispy and golden brown and make sure it's all cooked throughout. Alright, so now they're nice and golden crispy. We're going to go ahead and put them on top. Personally, I like to use a brown paper bag to let the oil drain from the chicken. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this step with the rest of the chicken. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do some new egg from the cauliflower because we don't want to cross-contaminate with the chicken. So let's go ahead and just do the same thing we was doing for the chicken, but with the cauliflower. As we did with the chicken with the cauliflower, nothing different. Just go ahead and dip the cauliflower in the egg and then toss it in the flour. So I went ahead and tossed the cauliflower off camera because they ain't paying me enough for this show anyway. Went ahead and got a new pot of oil for it. Now when this gets nice and hot, we're going to toss the cauliflower in there and get it nice and crispy. You understand me? Are you listening to me? Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and flip these around as well. Once these start getting golden brown, we're going to want to go ahead and toss them on top of the paper bag that we have for the chicken. Looking good, baby. Looking good. So I went ahead and washed off a couple pieces of carrots and celery. Now we're just going to go ahead and chop those on up. Okay, sweethearts, listen up. Now we're going to go ahead and make the sauce for the cauliflower and the chicken. I'm going to take some Sweet Baby Ray's honey chipotle barbecue sauce, a little bit of this stone ground mustard, just a tad bit of ketchup. All my real ones know about that crystal hot sauce. We're going to just add a tad of that in there as well, just for a little extra kick. Go on ahead and stir that on up. And now we have the sauce. Now that our chicken and cauliflower are all drained from the grease, I went ahead and put them in the pan. And now we're going to add the sauce to it and just toss it around. . Alright, babies, there we have it. We got the fried cauliflower tossed in the sauce with the celery and carrots on the side with some ranch. And the same thing over here with the chicken. Thank you, baby. Thank you for having me on this show. Thank you, Miss Samantha. Thank you. Y'all have a good night, okay? Thank you. And you gonna hear from me, brother, loud from this show.
I thank y'all for your time, my babies.